contraction also can be prolonged. Now coming to another important condition which might have widespread perioperative implication and in fact can increase the mortality, which is malignant hypothermia. Malignant hypothermia is autosomal dominant and usually it is located in the chromosome 19 and the genetic defect is the raaonlin receptor. And this defect causes excess of calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum to come to the sarcoplasm and act on the muscle, and there is muscle rigidity. Other chromosomes which are involved in malignant hypothermia includes chromosome 17 as well as chromosome 7. In chromosome 17, it is altered sodium channel functioning. In chromosome 7, it is altered dihydropyridine sensor. If you look at the normal muscle contraction, there is an action potential which comes in the neuromuscular junction. Okay, and sodium channel opens up and the action potential comes in. And this activates the dihydropyridine receptor and the gate opens. And this dihydropyridine opens the raaonlin receptor. And once the raaonlin receptor opens, the calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum goes to the muscle and cause muscle contraction. But what happens in malignant hypothermia? There is a mutated raaonlin receptor which is kept in an open stage. Here you can see the raaonlin receptor is altered and it is kept in an open stage. Thereby the calcium comes on regularly and act on the muscle, and muscle is in a contractile state. It isn't rigid. And when you give dantrolene, it closes the raaonlin receptor junction so that the calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum does not come into the muscle. Now coming to masseter spasm. Okay. Normally when you suspect malignant hyperthermia, here you can see most of the time it will have a normal jaw stiffness, but it won't interfere with intubation. Next comes a jaw tightness. Here it can interfere with the intubation and make intubation slightly difficult. But when the masseter spasm develops and if develop a jaw of steel, here you cannot open the mouth to intubate. That will be the most dangerous complication happening with malignant hypothermia in the perioperative period. Now coming to the early clinical signs of malignant hyperthermia. The first and foremost is your temperature elevation. Suddenly there is a rapid increase in temperature. Next comes the increase in carbon dioxide. You have an increasing end-tidal carbon dioxide and your carbon dioxide canister will be hot and exhausted. The patient might have widespread sweating and there might be hemodynamic fluctuation, and in the electrocardiogram, patient might have tachycardia or arrhythmias. And in Foley catheter, if patient is catheterized, you can see a dark brown urine which is due to myoglobinuria. The patient might develop muscle rigidity and masseter spasm. Laboratory anomalies includes acidosis, hypoxia, hypercarbia, your creatinine kinase elevation due to muscle rigidity, hyperkalemia, hypercalcemia and hyperphosphatemia. Coming to late clinical sign, that is the later part. Here there is generalized skeletal muscle rigidity. From masseter, almost all the muscle goes into rigidity, and here the ability to generate ATP is exhausted. From aerobic, you will be moving into an anaerobic metabolism and lactic acidosis sets in, and the patient might have hypoxia and the skin becomes purple or blue, which is cyanosis. In the urine catheter, you might have dark urine which might be due to myoglobinuria and there might be increased creatinine kinase. The temperature becomes very high, it goes beyond 40 degrees Celsius and patient will have VF or VTAC and invariably if it's not treated ends in mortality. Now coming to the